A Monday morning, it is a pleasure always to have your company right here on Good Morning Kenya. Welcome to the program. My name is Samuel Njoroge, ready to have a conversation that I'm very sure you've been waiting for the entire morning, touching on infertility in the family. This is a situation that has been disturbing many people. Families broken apart, people left with a lot of wounds that otherwise take time to heal. Others never heal at all. But we've got a lady in studio who has, one, a very inspirational story. Number two, a message to any one family out there that could be going through this situation, or any individual who is struggling with infertility. Cecilia, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you on Good Morning Kenya. And of course, congratulations.
Thank you.
You in case you're wondering why I'm congratulating her, you told me this is your third pregnancy.
This is my third one, yeah.
Beautiful baby bump. And of course, let's talk about your story, because this has not been easy for you, Cecilia.
It has not been easy, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey and struggles with infertility.
I'll start by saying I've gone through infertility. It's not very interesting. I was married. I've been married and divorced twice. In my first marriage, I stayed for 6 years. I stayed for some time without knowing what was happening, yeah? Because when we got married through a church wedding, I just went in blindly, not knowing that I'll not be able to conceive. I stayed for about 1 year. The second year, the third year is when I decided to go to the hospital and just be checked what was happening. Then I was found that everything was fine with me. Then I was given medication to take so that it can boost my fertility. Then the fourth year, nothing was happening, went back to hospital. Doctor told me now we have to incorporate my then husband. That's when now it was discovered that he had the problem, he had this low sperm count. So basically he was given medication but refused to take the medication. So there's no way we could conceive. So the marriage was very violent because we could not get a baby. So the first 3-4 years was very bad. The fifth year, the parents got in and started saying that I need to go. He needs to marry somebody else. But we could not tell them what was happening. Yeah, I did not disclose them that I did not have a problem then. So we stayed, and after 6 years, the marriage ended up in a police station. So we got divorced and everything went. You
went separate ways.
We separated.
Yes.
So immediately I got into the second marriage.
Immediately?
Immediately. I didn't stay even an year. Because now,
Cecilia.
you know, the stigma was too much.
There's no time to waste.
There's no time
Yes.
to waste. And now I wanted to show people that I could be able to conceive.
So it was actually psychological
It
for
was
you
psychological for me.
Like,
it
I
was
need
really
to prove
make
this point.
Yes, because everybody,
problem.
the society, my in-laws, everyone was talking about me. My friends also were talking about me. They were saying that I'll never get a baby. So for me, it was like I want to prove to them that I can be able to get. So I got into this marriage. I stayed for the first year, nothing. The second year, I was like, no, now I need to go back to hospital. When I went back, I was told that I have blocked tubes. I have a problem. I asked Dr. You're the same person who told me that I was fine. Now you're telling me that I have blocked tubes. Yeah, now he told me that when you stay for a long time without conceiving, because of the infections that we normally have, that's the reason why I have the blocked tubes. Yeah, and I had fibroids then. So I got so depressed. You know, now my plans and everything were just...
There goes your point and proving it.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I started asking my husband then, I need money to go to hospital. He kept on pushing it every other time. Little did I know that he was planning he had a mission. He had a plan B. So on my second and a half, third year, he came home, took everything that belonged to me, took it to my friends, and he told my friend that I never want to see Cecilia again because she lied to me. She will never conceive. Then he married another woman on my face. So you can imagine. The depression. I went into depression. I didn't want to talk to anyone. The pain.
The humiliation.
The humiliation. That was what was killing me. Now, how do I go back to people? I was married first, and now I've been married the second time, and now I've been divorced again the second time. No matter what I tell them, they will always see that I'm the bad one here.
Society is watching.
The society is watching, the society is talking about me. So I went through depression, and finally they got married, and unfortunately they conceived like immediately. So you can imagine where I am. I'm being told he has, the wife is expecting.
Has a bam going on.
Yes.
Huh?
So even the people who are supporting me, the relatives who are supporting me, who are saying that Cecilia should not be divorced, they could not say anything. Because now their son has a point. He's saying that Cecilia cannot conceive, so how can I stay with her?
So basically it's like egg on your face.
Very true. So that is what happened to me. I went through depression. I stayed for around 2 years without friends, because I separated myself from all the friends and relatives. You ask my relatives today, like 2 years, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to be alone. But one day I said, why am I doing this? I need to do something. I went to see my doctor. I told him, Daktari, now I'm back. Now my good Daktari said that, now Cecilia, that you're here, let us see what is happening with you. So he checked again, and he found that I had the block tubes and I had the fibroids. So he said we have to do laparoscopy, where they operate on you using the cameras. It's not cheap. Treatment of infertility is not cheap. It's very, very expensive. That time it costed me around 200,000, and I didn't have money. So I started saving kidogo kidogo until I got that money. That is when now I went back to Daktari, and he did the laparoscopy. And then after, he told me to stay for 6 months, yeah, without direct intercourse, so that now on the 7th month, I try conceiving. So that is what happened. I stayed for 6 months without direct intercourse. I was seeing my husband then, my husband now, the one who we married with 2 beautiful sons.
So far you have 2 beautiful sons.
We have 2 beautiful sons.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
So we had started seeing each other, though I knew from inside me that I didn't want to get married before I get a baby. So it was so clear. So when he was not serious on the relationship, I didn't care. For me, I knew what I wanted. I wanted a baby. But along the way, on the 7th month, I tried. On the 8th month, I tried. Nothing was happening. I bought these test kits to always check if I'm okay or I'm pregnant or not. The 3rd month, I did not conceive. The 4th month is when I conceived, and it was all joy. I could not believe.
How was that feeling?
It was so awesome. It was, I don't know, that I've never felt such an experience like what I felt then.
Where did you conduct the pregnancy test?
At home. I bought a dozen of pregnancy tests. So every morning, every end of the month, I could test to just check if I'm pregnant. Then I find that I'm not. I tried the following month, like that, until now I confirmed that.
The 4th month?
Yes.
You confirm you're pregnant?
Yes, but I didn't go to the hospital, surprisingly, until I was 7 months.
Okay, why
pregnant.
Not go to the hospital? Because
I didn't want the doctor to confirm to me that I was not. Because you see, the 1st month I thought that immediately my pregnancy will show. So I'll see that it is not showing, it's just normal. The same clothes that I was wearing is the same clothes I'm wearing. Then I could doubt. Then when I was 3 months, I called my sister who was in Israel then. I told her, you know what, I'm pregnant. She told me, never tell anybody, just keep quiet.
Fungia.
Fungia.
Zip it, Cecilia.
Because if you say, they're going to talk bad and then your pregnancy is going to come
They'll
out.
stress you.
Yes. So I waited until I could see everyone was seeing. Because even people would ask me, Cecilia, are you pregnant? I'll say, no, I'm not. Yeah.
This weight gain. This weight gain.
Nikapot.
Tutaenda gym.
And then the good thing about me that all this time I had a kapot. So even my in-laws, it was so easy for me to get away with it.
Yes.
Because they thought that there's a day I pretended that I was pregnant. During that time I was struggling with infertility. I went with a maternity dress and my stomach was big and everybody thought that I was pregnant. Little did they know I was lying. Yes.
Cecilia,
Yes.
these experiences must have shaped you in a certain way, and they must have inspired you towards a certain direction.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that inspiration and that direction that you took, and what you're doing right now, even in regards to fertility in this country. Where did that leave you as a person, first of all? Let's take one question at a time. Where did that experience, from 2 marriages with no kids, to a relationship, a pregnancy happening, and now you're in your 3rd pregnancy?
I think what I really learned is I think getting into marriage, you should not just get in blindly. You should get into the marriage knowing that you have these plans. Yeah, you planning to stay with your husband from year 1 to end. So basically, anybody getting married should first get tested. As much as we have the HIV and we have the cancer screening and everything else, we need people to be tested for infertility. Because if I had tested before marriage, I would have conceived maybe in the 1st year, or we would have adopted in the 2nd year in my 1st marriage. Yeah, because in the African setup, there is no way an African man would stay without a baby. There'll be pressure all over. Even you yourself, even if you love your husband so much, you feel like you're letting him down in a way. Because you want to appreciate him. You want to show him that really we are here for life. And the only way you show that is by getting somebody or getting a baby. Yeah, that is the way you, in the African setup is. You have to prove by getting that baby. So for me, my learning experience was anybody getting married should first get tested. So that once you're getting into the marriage, you know how to go about it. Yes.
And of course, there is always the temptation, Cecilia, of seeking for alternative medication, solutions. I don't know, the problem is, I don't know these, try this in the morning. Did you ever go through that?
I went through everything.
Let's talk about those experiences.
Okay. Number 1, people were coming to me and telling me that I was cursed. So I used to go to church and get prayed for.
Deliverance.
Deliverance service, I'll go through it every other time. I hear there's a prophet somewhere, I rush there and go and just be laid hands on. I hear there's a prophet somewhere, I run. So basically, so that curse can be removed. Yeah. Then there was this other thing that I've been bewitched. People thought that I've been bewitched. So they will say, in your mothers, like for us, my dad had 4 wives. So they thought my stepmothers are the ones who are talking bad of me. So they would tell me, Flani and Flani is the one who's talking bad. Would you go and look for interventions? But I didn't go there. But churches I went. The other thing is, you'll get very free medication for mitishambas. You hear advertisement for people advertising for mitishamba. I'll hear there is one here, I'll run and take the medication. Then I'll hear, in fact, I went to another one, a Chinese somewhere here, I took the medication, but nothing was happening. So basically, the only solution about infertility, it's so easy, you just need to go to the doctor. Do some tests.
Get tested.
Get tested. For women, it's only 3 tests that you need to be done. Number 1 is HSG. The HSG, they just check whether the tubes are blocked or not. Number 2 is the pelvic scan. The pelvic scan, they check if you have the uterus or you don't have the uterus. Yeah? Or if you have the ovaries or you don't have. Yeah? Because the egg is very, very important.
Yes.
And then the 3rd one is the hormones. If your hormones are okay or they are not. For men, is only 1, the sperm count. Just 1 test. Even if you don't go with your wife or you don't go with your girlfriend, just feature yourself and go and just be tested.
Get tested.
It won't hurt. Yes. So basically, there's this myth of people coming up to just take advantage of people who are going through infertility, to just take their money. Yeah, by telling them, if you take this medication, it's going to to cure you or you're going to get a baby. It's not true. If you have blocked tubes, there's no medication for unblocking the tubes. The only solution is to do an operation. So just go do that operation, or maybe do IVF.
IVF, and let's talk about this from a man's perspective.
Yes.
And I'm fitting into the shoe of a man who's going through a test. And I realize my sperm count is low.
Yes.
Or better yet, I cannot function properly.
Yeah.
And all the ridicule that comes with that.
Yes.
From being told, I don't know, you send blank SMSs to all those things, Cecilia. And my ego is right at the middle of it all.
Yeah.
How would I handle that?
Thank you very much. We have, like in my foundation, I'll be talking about the foundation that I have. Fertility Kenya.
Yes.
We have over 300 women and men. There's a way we handle you, because if you stayed like that, you're shooting blanks, and I told you to go and get tested, then you say you don't want to be tested, I want to just stay without knowing. So how are you going to be helped? So the only way we do it is tell you that there is a solution. We get you by telling you there is a solution to your infertility. You know, like if we confirm to you that you shoot blanks, at kabisa completely, there's no sperm, we can get a sperm donation.
A sperm, okay.
Yes. So that is number one thing. There's also low sperm count. When you have low sperm count, it's not that you don't remove any sperm at all. The sperms are there. So there's a way doctors, they remove your sperm, they wash, and then they get the right sperm. And then out of that, they're able to conduct IVF, or your wife is able to be done IUI. You understand? So basically, there is no reason why you as a man, you should not be tested. Instead of you staying for 20 years without getting a baby, you rather come to this solution of just getting tested and doing IVF or doing the sperm donation than just staying like that.
The psychology behind it, Cecilia, you know, wouldn't I feel less of a man?
You will feel less.
Wouldn't I feel I don't deserve that title of Mr.?
Let me ask you, I'm asking you a very good thing. Would you stay for 20 years or forever in your life not getting a baby, or you rather know the problem, then get a solution?
Logically, it makes sense,
yes.
Cecilia. It does make sense. Yes. Let me get this now, other than suffering this for 20 years. But there are dynamics surrounding that particular decision, which at times outweigh the decision itself. You may even have this baby at the end of the day, and you may stick with this woman. But really, the rest of your lives will not be fairy tale. They will not be normal. You know, your wife may just throw you a comment like you're useless, and you feel, yeah, she knows exactly what she's talking about. So how do I handle that?
I think the most important is the wife should understand you and take you the way you are. You have to be friends with your wife from the word go. And that is why I said, before you even get married, you need to be tested, so that if, even me as a wife, when I'm getting married to you, I know my husband will never conceive. Am I ready to have you as my husband? Yeah? Then if I'm ready to have you as my husband, it doesn't matter what happens. We either decide we're going to adopt, or we decide we're going to do the sperm donation or something else. But if you're already in the marriage, just talk to your wife, maybe go to counseling, come to us, let me talk to you. Let's find a way of just getting a solution as a family. Yeah, so that even if you were to talk to your wife about what is happening with you, she'll be able to accept you the way you are.
How do I deal with the pressure? From family, from friends, from the society, how do I deal with all that?
I think the number one thing, the pressure is there, and it will always be there. But right now we are trying to reduce the stigma. We are trying to tell people, because the society or the in-laws talk to their sons, telling them they need to leave their wives, not knowing even their sons could be having a problem. So basically what we are trying to do, we are encouraging our members to incorporate the parents. In this way, they need to understand what is happening with you. as a parent, I need to know what is happening with my son. Why are they not conceiving? So, though we as mother-in-laws or we as parents are not handling it in the right way, they are going behind backs of their daughters and telling their sons to get married to other women. If they could sit them down and tell them, my children, I need to know what is happening with you. Why are you not conceiving? I need to know. Then they will be so easy for them to just open up and tell them, Mom, this is what is happening. Daddy, this is what is happening. So we are trying. And most of the time, infertility has a solution. But the most challenging thing is the medication. As I told you, when I was doing laparoscopy, I spent like 200,000.
Yeah.
IVF is a solution right now, but it's costing around 350,000 to 500,000. So basically, as much as we want to have this baby, there is that challenge of the cost of treatment.
And that is where now I'd like you to come in, Cecilia, on the aspect of, this is a very urban conversation to some extent. It's Nairobi, it's Mumbai, it's the middle class. They can talk about IVF and spending huge chunks of money just to get that child. There's a place where this problem could be worse, and that is in the rural areas.
Very true.
This man does not have 350,000 for starters. Number two, he has a society surrounding him that is way harsh than what we have in Nairobi. You know, you and I, tulihama tukakuja.
Nairobi.
You know, ule pale anaishi na that mother-in-law is next door.
Very true.
You know, she wakes up in the morning chanting songs just to get to your nerve. You know, it does happen.
That. It does happen.
It does happen,
Yes,
Cecilia.
yes.
So how does that man or that woman who is having a challenge in terms of cost, access to information, the society around them is not supportive. Where is the rope I need to hang? That could be what they're thinking right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do we help them?
I'll tell you that is where we are right now as Fertility Kenya. We're at that point of what do we do next? Because already we've created an awareness. We're telling people that there is a solution for infertility. But now when they come to us, they find that the solution is too expensive. Somebody is earning like 100 shillings in a day. So we're talking of like 3,000. Na saizo hajakula, hajafanya anything else, hajavaa. So hiyo ni 3,000. So you're telling this couple that now there is a solution of infertility, you need to do this, it's costing you 350. So they rather go back to their myth of thinking they have been cast than think of IVF.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So basically, as Fertility Kenya, that is the most challenge we have right now. We have people who've been affected, but now they are not able to pay. And now we have started a campaign, we're calling it 10 for 10 for a mother. We're looking for people to support 10 for 10 for a mother campaign, whereby we're trying to raise funds to help the less fortunate couples. There are couples who are into each other, there are couples who love each other, but they're not able to raise this money. You understand? So we're trying to raise little funds so that we're able to help them just pay in the treatment of infertility.
In the treatment of infertility.
Yes. Then the other thing, very, very important thing is we're giving them the information. Because if today you're suffering of something and you didn't know there was a treatment, even if you're told it's 1 million shillings, you'll die knowing that there is a solution. You understand? You rather know there is a solution than think like you will never get a baby forever and ever.
Yes.
Because for me, when I was going through infertility, there was one thing that kept me going, that I will do IVF regardless. So it kept me going. Though I didn't have that money at that particular time, but it kept me going that when I get this money, one day, one time, even if I'll be 40, even if I'll be 50.
This is going to happen.
This is going to happen.
You see?
So basically, if we give them the information that they're going to conceive, even if they'll be 50, then it's worth living than even thinking that I will die without a baby. Yes.
I get to understand why God really blessed Abraham.
Yes.
and Sarah.
Yes.
But congratulations,
Thank
Cecilia.
you.
And of course, what you're doing with Infertility or Fertility Kenya?
Fertility Kenya.
Fertility Kenya.
Yeah,
You've
we
got
didn't want to
online
call
presence
it infertility. We called it fertility because we want everybody to be fertile.
to be fertile
Yeah.
and enjoy the fruit of their womb.
Very true.
So you have online presence?
Yes.
That's www.
www.fertilitykenya.org. We also have a Facebook page called Fertility Kenya. You can get us there, or maybe you can call me on 0722 774371.
Great.
Yes.
I'll get all this information for you in case you're going through this problem, or in case you would like to help out with the 10 for 10 campaign.
Yeah.
10 for 10 campaign, of course, www.fertilitykenya.org. That's their online presence. Fertility Kenya on Facebook. And of course, the mobile number Cecilia just gave. I will be sharing that information on my Facebook page. So hit me right there. It's Samuel Njoroge. We take a short break and congratulate Cecilia on her wonderful, wonderful third pregnancy. And we wish you all the best with that, okay?
Thank you.
So we take a short break. Eye on Politics, ASP, Rule 68 is coming up next. Keep it right here, KBC Channel 1.